So last week, I was sent a bunch of decants from my buddy Joey over at ScentRush.us. They sent me the new Louis Vuitton Elves, the new Mason Francis Kirkjohn Kirky, Green Point by Bond Number 9, have a few other ones that are on the way, as well as a bunch of Aaron Terrence Hughes. And then they sent me these two, ones that I was really looking forward to trying. And I've worn them now for a week, back and forth and back and forth. And so now I'm going to be doing my review of Roja Parfums Isola Verde and Roja Parfums Apex Eau Intense. So that's what we're talking about today. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Randy, aka FragranceDoud, back at you with review of a brand new release, two brand new releases that came out. I figured I would do them in collaboration since they were two from the same house and they're decants, so I figured I would just do them at the same time, both from the house of Roja Parfums. But before we get into it, make sure if you're not already, you hit the subscribe button. Everybody smash that like, comment below. Let me know if you've tried either of these ones out. I heard really nothing about these before I got them in, but what do I think about them? We're going to start out with the one that I loved when I first tried it. And this is Roja Parfums Isola Verde. I already sprayed them on my hand about an hour ago just so I could get a feel for the dry down. And so I will put the notes on the screen, but I'm not going to beat around the bush with these fragrances. I'm going to give you a straight to the point review. That's what I feel like you guys need for these ones. When I first sprayed this on, I actually contacted my moderators and I said, oh my goodness, this opening is fantastic. If the dry down is anything similar to it, I'm buying a bottle. I saw that there was one bottle left on Olfactory LLC. And I was like, oh, I should probably buy it. I went to click on it and it was sold out. Thank goodness it was, because when this fragrance does open up, it opens up and it's unisex through and through. It doesn't smell like any other Roja. It smells like a Roja Parfums. They have like this DNA for most of their fresh fragrances and most of their warm fragrances where you can tell it's a Roja. The quality is there, everything like that. But it opens up almost like a fruity green spring fragrance. You get kind of like a fruit basket mixed together with some green tones and a little bit of an undertone floral from hedoin, maybe a bit of jasmine. But as soon as I sprayed that on, I was like, yeah, beautiful, fruity, Roja style fragrance, maybe a bit of citrus, but it's fruity and green. Very, very nice. Has a nice, I love hedoin. Hedoin's a really nice floral. I actually didn't know what it smelled like until my wife brought it home last year, and I smelled it. Really nice floral. But it was blended in the opening. The floral was blended in the opening. When you get about 5 to 10 minutes into the fragrance, I told you it was unisex in that opening. It starts to lean and crawl feminine. And it's just because all of those fruits kind of go out the window. And while it does not smell bad, it doesn't smell bad whatsoever. It's just, I would rather see this on my wife or my daughter. It's more of a playful women's floral fragrance after about 5 to 10 minutes. There is that fruity undertone from it. You get a little bit of warmth. There is a little bit of like a clean white musk in the fragrance as well. But to not confuse you guys, the opening is fruity, green. Even the green tones start to stray, and it becomes a floral dominant scent for pretty much the next 3-4 hours, and until it really just becomes more of a woody, musky, slightly floral fragrance after all of that. But even then, at that point in time, it's not really noticeable. It's about a 5-hour scent, 5 to 6 hours maybe. But Roja's never really had the longest projecting freshies. With that said, there are some that are. Isola Verde. It has a nice projection. It's about 3 to 4 feet for the first 2 hours, but then it starts to crawl down. Again, the opening is very nice. I think if you want to try this and you're a fan of florals and you're a fan of floral femme fragrances, then I would try this because that's really what it becomes after 5 to 10 minutes. For me, the one time it was 5 minutes, the other times it was all 10 minutes. But I really love the opening. I think the opening is like an 8.5 to a 9. I really enjoy that fruitiness. It's a different style of fruitiness too, almost slightly creamy fruitiness. You get this nice green tone, not like a green grassy tone, but more just like a green, almost like minty but soft green tone, similar to like what you get in St. Julep actually, mixed together with the fruitiness. But they wane too quickly, and those florals just become too prominent with the jasmine. And there's like 4 or 5 different florals that I can smell in the dry down, and then you get a little bit of woods and musk and maybe a slight bit of spice. But after that, I would say it's just an average like 7 for a men's fragrance. I would say like a 5.5 just because I don't see it as a men's fragrance. So I shouldn't actually rate it. If my wife was wearing it, I still don't know. I don't like floral fragrances on her, so I would have to check it out. But anyway, that's Roja Isola Verde. That's my thoughts. I don't really love it. But I love the opening. If I could just keep respraying that, I would, but it's just such a short opening. So now on to the next one. So the other one I wanted to talk about, another Roja, is Roja Apex O Intense. Again, I got this courtesy of Joey over at scentrush.us. He has all of these on the site. Use the code DOUD5, DUDE5 for 5% off. Decants, sometimes full bottles, depending on the product and how much he has in stock. So when I first sprayed this on, I didn't like it. Again, I'll put the note breakdown on the screen so you can take a look at it. But and I first sprayed it on, I was like, yeah, I don't really like that. But I think it was something in the straw or something like that. Because the second and third time and fourth time that I actually tried out this fragrance, I was like, you know what? I actually like that a little bit more. I never got to love, and I'm still not at love. But I'm still at if this got down to the prices that I've seen Apex and Apex Parfum get to on Joma Shop, like $150, that might be in the range for me to buy this. I wouldn't buy it over $200. But anyway, again, I'll put the note breakdown and all that on the screen. So this has really, it does have some stuff to do with the original Apex and Parfum. But at the same time, it is so different. This is a fresh fragrance, and those are warm fragrances. If you haven't tried any of the Apexes, they're basically Roja's take on Dior Sauvage Elixir style DNA, the spicy, resinous style fragrances, the night out wears. That's what those ones focus on. Really, the original Apex was like that, if not like a slight bit, a slight bit not as heavy as Dior Sauvage. And it has a little bit better of a blend, in my opinion, and higher quality. So I actually like Apex better than Dior Sauvage Elixir, but I'm not a big fan of that DNA in general. So anyway, when you bring it into this one, you can still sense there's still the spices. There might still be a little bit of warmth from it, but this is a fresh, more citrusy, slightly greener fragrance. It's actually closer to the Isola Verde, or like the Isola line, like Isola Blue, stuff like that, than it is the actual Apexes. But it's almost like if you took, because Roja Parfums, like I said in the opening, has their style of DNA. They have their fresh style of DNA, and they have their warm style of DNA. This is kind of taking a bit of both and mashing them up, and it smells nice. There's parts of the fragrance where you're smelling it and you're like, oh, that actually smells quite unique and quite nice. But then there's like the two styles of Roja fragrances are butting heads, and it's not quite working out correctly. And so there's certain parts of it, like the spice just doesn't feel like it fits. The freshness feels like it fits. The citrus feels like it fits, but it feels like it just doesn't mesh well with other things at times. And at other times, I'm smelling it. I'm liking what they're doing there. So I can't say that I don't like this fragrance. I can't say that I love the fragrance. It might be something I have to wear a bunch more times, but I do like it. I think that this is an easy 7.5 2 and 8 for me. So anyway, it's citrus, it's green. It has a bit of warmth to it. I forgot to actually tell you guys what the fragrance smelled like. But honestly, if you smelled the original Apex and you smelled something like, and I've heard people say that it has like a mashup with Isola Blue. Yes, in ways I can see that, but it's like they're fresh. So Isola Blue meets Apex, but with its own spin. And the spin is it's green and spicy, but at the same time it's citrusy fresh. It's almost closer to like a signature scent than like a super freshy for the summer or a warm fragrance for the winter. It's kind of like a signature scent that you can wear in any season because it has the spice and the warmth and it has the freshness and the citrus. When you get down to the dry down, it does start, it feels a little bit chemically. And that's where I'm saying it's the two styles of fragrance that they're trying to pull together conflicting. It has a bit of a chemically vibe, but again, it doesn't ruin it for me. I know my moderator, Newt, said he didn't like it. I know Jeff from SoCal Sense said he hates it or didn't like it. I know a few other people said they don't like it. I know these are poorly rated on Fragrantica. Do not go buy Fragrantica because they hate on Rojas every time they release. So it's going to be years before those actually have correct ratings. With that said, these ones don't deserve to be a 4+. I think that maybe 1 out of every 10 people is going to actually love this fragrance, but it's not something that is really blowing me out of the water, but it's also not something that I can say, hey, and just discount and just be like, I'm not dealing with that fragrance. I think it smells nice. Will I buy a bottle? I probably will forget about it. It's one of those forgettable fragrances, but I see what they're trying to do, and if I had a bottle, I could wear it. And the performance for it is about 7 to 8 hours. It did last a little bit longer, but again, once it gets to 8 hours, I'm washing it off most of the time, either in a shower or whatever it might be. But it seems about 7 hours it starts to fade a little bit further into the background, which is nice for like a fresh, slightly signature scent. But that's where in the dry down that Apex DNA starts to pop a bit more. But it's more just, again, the warmth, the slight woody tones, and that not even like a richness. It's more where the Apex style DNA pulls up. It never really feels like Apex though, and it never really feels like Isola Blue. It feels like the two different styles of Rojas conflicting, and it just smells nice. And that's the most I can give to you. Citrus, woody spice, green tones mixed in. There's a lot going on. So I wouldn't be surprised if like you have 5 different reviewers saying they pick out 5 different things. And with Rojas, I've always had trouble picking out all the different notes, but it's nice. Neither of these are anything I would recommend buying blind. Not like, obviously it's a Roja, but even when it gets to 220, I wouldn't recommend buying either of these blind. If you have a female in your life that loves florals, I would still give them a decant to try of the Isola Verde, but I still don't recommend that as a full bottle because it's a nice fragrance, but for women, and just see if they like it or not. But with that said, yeah, I'd give this one probably just it's an average 7.5 across the board. Both of them smell nice. They just don't do anything crazy good. But let me know what you guys think if you've tried them out. It's just not doing anything really for me either way. This one has the best opening, the Isola Verde. The Intense is the best all-rounder for men as far as out of the two, but there's better options just from Roja Parfums themselves. Even the original Apex, I feel, is a better option if you're looking for something along like the warmer, spicier signature scent. It depends on what style of fragrance you like. Some people might like it. I mean, if you like it, you like it. It's just, for me, it's not for me. Anyway, that's Roja, Apex, Intense, and Isola Verde. Very forgettable fragrances, and I won't buy them most likely. So let me know what you guys think, and again, I'll be back with another one. Peace out.